Breaking news! The buzz coming out of Ravens OTAs isn't just noise, it's the build-up to a potential shakeup at key positions. A rookie who started off slow is suddenly turning heads, a tight end may be knocking out a franchise favorite, and a veteran wide receiver is proving everyone wrong. Something's happening in Baltimore, and it's bigger than anyone expected. But before we go any further, please like if you've been a Baltimore Ravens fan for over 20 years. It's great to see fans of all ages. There are people here who were at the first game. If possible, comment something like, "Go Ravens! My heart is purple and black." Starting with Malachi Starks, the Ravens' first-round pick didn't exactly blast out of the gates. In fact, early OTA reports, like Sarah Ellison's, hinted at some hesitations. The kind that make you clutch your notes and wonder if the transition from college to the NFL was hitting a few early bumps. John Harbaugh initially admitted that while Starks hadn't flashed yet, he also hadn't made a mistake. But everything changed after the first week and a half. Suddenly, Malachi was flying around, making plays. Ryan Mink highlighted a red zone drill where he disrupted what looked like a sure touchdown pass to fullback Patrick Ricard. Instead, the play ended in an incompletion. That's what sets Starks apart, his football IQ. Eric DeCosta said it himself. The way this rookie breaks down defenses, calls out plays before the snap, and understands his teammates' roles, it's like having a coach on the field. And that couldn't come at a better time. With Darius Washington likely out for most, if not all, of the regular season, the Ravens need Starks to step into a big-time role immediately. Kyle Hamilton will be doing his thing, of course, but Starks is being trusted to be a key contributor alongside him. He's learning, adjusting, and starting to look like he belongs, and maybe even like he's ready to lead. Then there's Isaiah Likely. If you thought he was going to fade into the background with Mark Andrews healthy, think again. In fact, Starks himself said Likely has been the hardest player to cover during OTAs, more difficult than Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, or even DeAndre Hopkins. That's no small compliment. Ryan Mink reported that Likely made 2 long sideline catches from quarterback Cooper Rush, which backs up the word out of camp. This isn't just about athleticism, this is about evolution. Likely is faster, more decisive, and stronger in his routes than ever. He's in a contract year, just like Andrews, and the comparison between the two is inevitable. One look at the tight end performance charts and it's clear. Isaiah Likely is near the top right corner, that sweet spot where elite blocking and receiving intersect. The fact that we're even talking about Likely possibly overtaking Andrews in importance by season's end speaks volumes. This isn't just TE1 and TE2 anymore. It's 1A and 1B. Who gets extended? That's going to be one of the most debated storylines all year. And finally, DeAndre Hopkins. If you thought he was going to be a quiet veteran addition, think again. Todd Monken and Jonas Shaffer both couldn't stop raving about what Hopkins has done during 11-on-11 drills. He's caught every single pass Lamar Jackson has thrown his way. Diving catches, sideline grabs, separation against top corners like Marlon Humphrey. Hopkins is showing the kind of sharpness and instinct that you only see from true veterans. Some fans scoffed at the $1-year $5 million deal, called it unnecessary, even risky. But right now, that move looks like an absolute steal. Monken doesn't even see Hopkins as a WR3. He sees him, Bateman, and Zay Flowers as a trio of true starters. No one above the rest, just 3 guys who could each start on any NFL team. And honestly, it's hard to argue. The chemistry, the execution, the competition, it's all elevating this wide receiver group to something we haven't seen in Baltimore in years. And then there's Chandler Martin, the undrafted free agent linebacker who's making waves quietly but consistently. 2 near interceptions in OTAs might not sound like much, but it's enough to get coaches to take notice, especially in a linebacker room that lost depth over the offseason. The Ravens don't care about draft position. They care about production. And Martin is producing. But back to those 3 names, Starks, Likely, Hopkins. Each one has a story. Each one has expectations, doubts, and now, serious momentum. So let's end this first part with a question that fans need to think about. Which one of these 3 is going to have the biggest impact on the Ravens season? Because while all 3 are earning buzz now, we know that OTAs are just the start. The real test is what happens when the pads come on, when the lights get bright and the intensity dials up during training camp, preseason, and eventually, when the regular season kicks off. That's when stars are made, and busts are exposed. And the truth is, every one of these players is walking into a crucial moment in their careers. Take Malachi Starks. Yes, he's making plays now, but how will that translate when he's matched up against elite quarterbacks and tight ends week in and week out? How will he respond when the pressure's real, when he's asked to play 60-plus snaps per game, and when opposing offenses are scheming specifically to exploit his rookie inexperience? The Ravens need him to not just survive, they need him to thrive. With Washington down and Marcus Williams recovering from a long list of injuries in recent years, the safety depth is already being tested. Starks has shown the mental chops. He's flashed the physical tools. Now he'll need to prove he can be consistent, durable, and vocal fast. Meanwhile, Isaiah likely has the potential to completely change the dynamic of the Ravens offense. If Todd Monken continues to lean into 12 personnel packages with both him and Mark Andrews on the field, Baltimore could become one of the most unpredictable and versatile offenses in the league. But that only works if Likely can keep the momentum going. He'll have to stay healthy, clean up his blocking assignments, and stay focused under the weight of inevitable comparisons to Andrews. The tight end room has long been one of the Ravens' strongest units, but this might be the year it turns into a true offensive focal point, and that depends largely on Likely's growth. And let's talk more about DeAndre Hopkins. What's truly wild is how many people outside of Baltimore forgot what this man is capable of. He's not just here to be a mentor. He's here to compete and win. His performance in OTAs is the kind of thing that quiets doubters and energizes quarterbacks. The fact that Lamar Jackson is already building trust with him is massive. For years, fans have begged for Lamar to be given a legitimate, experienced, savvy wide receiver who can read coverages, adjust routes, and win at all three levels of the field. Hopkins is that guy. He's already showing it, and if he can stay healthy, there's a real chance he ends up leading this team in receiving yards. But his role goes beyond numbers. Hopkins' presence could unlock Bateman. It could create more space for Zay Flowers. It could draw defenders away from Likely and Andrews. The ripple effect of having DeAndre Hopkins at full strength and full buy-in is something that can't be overstated. The Ravens have long been a team defined by grit, defense, and efficiency. But this year's team, there's a swagger starting to emerge. There's depth, experience, youth, and hunger across the board. What we're seeing in OTAs isn't just a glimpse of potential. It's a warning to the rest of the AFC. This team is loaded. And the best part? There's still more to come. And if we're being honest, the Ravens might need all three of these guys, Starks, Likely, and Hopkins, to hit their ceilings if they want to compete in a loaded AFC. Let's not sugarcoat it. The road to the Super Bowl runs through the likes of Kansas City, Cincinnati, and now maybe even Houston with C.J. Stroud lighting it up. Every year, it feels like the Ravens are on the cusp. But what separates the almost teams from the real contenders is player development, rookies maturing quickly, veterans staying healthy, and stars playing like stars when it matters most. That's why what we're seeing in OTAs is so encouraging. This isn't just a couple of nice plays in practice. This is foundational stuff. Malachi learning fast enough to potentially become a day-one starter, Likely evolving into an elite offensive weapon. Hopkins proving he's not done. He's hungry, and that hunger is contagious. Coaches see it, teammates feel it, and if it carries into training camp, the Ravens might just have one of the most balanced rosters in football, top to bottom. But here's the final piece of the puzzle: leadership. Who steps up when adversity hits? When the Ravens are down late in the fourth quarter on the road against a playoff team, who's making the game-changing play? Will it be the rookie safety with the sky-high football IQ? The breakout tight end who's finally getting his shot? Or the veteran wideout who's been counted out too many times before? One thing's clear, all three are writing their own stories right now. And Ravens fans, you're going to want to be locked in for every chapter.